Hello, Namaste to everyone. I am Professor Venkatramo BR, Assistant Professor of English, Department Collegiate and Technical Education, teaching at Government First Grade College, Kudipandi. Dear friends, I welcome you all to this English class. Today in this session, we are going to learn a novella titled Jonathan Livingston Seagull. This is a novella prescribed for the BCom 4 semester English class of Bengaluru North University. Friends, we are going to study in this session part 3 of the novella. These sessions, part 1, part 2 of this novella. Please do watch my videos in this channel for earlier parts of this novella. Now let's continue with this part 3 of the novella. In this part 3, we are going to focus some important incidents or events which have taken place in the novel. This part being very important, let us concentrate on important issues of the novel. Friends, the third part of the novella, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, starts with important instructions where Jonathan, the protagonist of the novella, is teaching Fletcher Seagull. Jonathan Livingston, who takes Fletcher as a student and trains him. Jonathan was teaching 16-point vertical slow roll to this young Fletcher Seagull over far-off cliffs. Fletcher is very eager to fly. He becomes an almost perfect student and flourishes into a strong flyer. Some time passes and gradually Jonathan has many more students. By the end of the third month, Jonathan had 6 more students and 6 exiles carried away by a new strange idea to fly for the joy of flying. Friends, in the evenings, Jonathan tries to teach them the idea of comprehensive freedom. He would say, each of us in the truth, an idea of the great gull, an unlimited idea of freedom. Everything that limits us, we have to put aside. But the students exhausted during the day and fall asleep without hearing the teacher. Jonathan trains all of them to think freely and conquer their physical limitations. He trains them hard but fairly. Jonathan would say, your whole body from wingtip to wingtip is nothing more than your thought itself. In a form you can see, break the chains of your thought and you break the chains of your body too. After months of training, Jonathan claims that they all must return to the flag and teach others to embrace such freedom of flight. It was only a month after Jonathan said the time had come to return to the flag. There was brief anguish among the students, for it is the law of the flag that an outcast never returns. And the law had not been broken once in 1,000 years. Fletcher says that they don't have to obey the law if they were not a part of that flag. Although the students are opposed, seeing him fly away, the student decide to follow the mentor. So they flew in from the west that morning, 8 of them in a double diamond formation. Jonathan returns to the breakfast flags to share his newly discovered ideals and the recent tremendous experience, ready for the difficult fight against the current rules of that society. They all land near the shore where the rest of the flock thrives. They are met with a hostile and cold reception. They came across the Flax Council beach at 135 miles per hour. On seeing the return of Jonathan's team, the oldest orders not to pay attention to the exiles. The elder gull of the clan said, "The gull who speaks to an outcast is himself an outcast. The gull who looks upon an outcast breaks the law of the flock." Jonathan decides to concentrate on his students and continues to train them publicly. Every hour, Jonathan was there at the side of each of his students, demonstrating, suggesting, pressuring, guiding. He flew with them while the flock huddled miserably on the ground. Martin Gull became a wizard of low speeds. Charles Roland Gull flew the great mountain wind to the 24,000 feet. Fletcher Gull conquered his 16-point vertical slow roll and triple cartwheel. He continues teaching. When the flying was done, the students relaxed on the sand. And in time, they listened more closely to Jonathan. He had some crazy ideas that they could not understand. But they had some good ones that they could follow. As the days go by, the young girls and the flock develop an interest in Jonathan and its students. Gradually in the night, another circle formed around the circle of students, a circle of curious girls listening in the darkness for hours on end, not wishing to see or to be seen of any other, fading away before the daybreak. 1 month after return, the pack youths begin to go over to Jonathan. The first girl of the flock crossed the line and asked to learn how to fly. In asking, Terence Lowell Gull became a condemned bird, labeled outcast, and the eighth of Jonathan's students. One of the seagulls, Kirk Maynard, has broken wing, but he wants to fly and asks Jonathan for help. Jonathan tells him, "You are free and nothing can stop you." Kirk spreads his wings and rises into the sky in front of the amazing pack. Pupils begin to consider the mentor a god. They assume Jonathan to be divine and want to learn from it. By sunrise, nearly 1,000 birds were standing outside the circle of students, looking curiously at Maynard. Jonathan Seagull spoke of very simple things. It is right for the girl to fly, that freedom is the very nature of his being, that whatever stands against that freedom must be set aside, be it ritual or superstition or limitations in any form. The multitude asked him if they could set aside even it be the law of the flock. Jonathan said that the only law is that which leads to freedom. It seems that Jonathan has become a sort of legend back where he originated from, as it often happened with outcasts. The tables are turned now. Everyone is amazed by the skills of Jonathan and dreams of becoming like him. Soon Jonathan sets more young students, eventually rising to several hundred. After a week, misfortune occurs with Fletcher. Jonathan goes too far in encouraging Fletcher to fly too high and too fast. That results in Fletcher crashed into a cliff. Fletcher Seagull accidentally crashes into a cliff and hits the rock at the highest speed while trying to avoid crashing into a young girl yet do not die. When it wakes up, it is attacked by the flag for being sinister in his desire to injure the young girl. Jonathan sees this and helps Fletcher to escape. The rest of the girls try to kill Jonathan, believing that he is a sort of a devilish figure trying to break up the flag. Fortunately, Jonathan survives the attack. Seeing that he is not dead, the pack decides that Jonathan is either the devil or the sort of the great seagull. Already in another world, Jonathan catches up with him and offers a choice to stay at his level or return home. Fletcher comes back. After this incident, Fletcher masters instant moments. This makes Jonathan a bit prouder than he should be. So one day he takes this bit too far. Jonathan and Fletcher start discussing love. They realize that love means seeing the good in everyone, and it seemed that at that moment Jonathan Seagull forgave his original flag and is free from the last burden of his life. The last words of Jonathan's teacher: keep working on love. Through his teaching, Jonathan understands that the spirit cannot be free without the ability to forgive, and that the way to progress leads him at last through becoming a teacher, not just through working hard as a student. The ability to forgive seems to be a mandatory passing condition. The physical and spiritual growth of Jonathan is evident in the novella that enables him to forgive the flag that abandoned him and also leaving behind the wise seagull in his place. Furthermore, Jonathan advises Fletcher to become an instructor and describe Fletcher's training as complete. Jonathan soon decides that the pack no longer needs him. He instructs Fletcher, and then Jonathan's body begins to shine with a ghostly light. Passing on the responsibility to Fletcher, Jonathan says its final goodbye. It melts the air, and Fletcher begins to train the beginners. This is all the third part of the novella. I am sure you have understood this third part of the novella. For more information, please do refer the resource that I have given you. Sources and reference, you can refer all these things to enlighten yourself. Dear friends, thank you for watching this video. Please do watch other videos I do upload regarding the subject and also the syllabus that you require for BCom